2020 hopefuls get a rough welcome to the big leagues. Washington, now that the potentially gigantic field of Democratic presidential candidates for 2020 is beginning to narrow, so long, goodbye, the scrutiny is increasing on some of the Democrats who continue to eye the upcoming presidential race. On Thursday, for example, the House progressives and minority groups criticized Elizabeth Warren for the recent DNA test she took to prove her family's Native American origins, and then they implored her not to run for president. Warren missed her moment in 2016, and there's reason to be skeptical of her prospective candidacy in 2020, the editorial page said. While Warren is an effective and impactful senator with an important voice nationally, she has become a divisive figure. A unifying voice is what the country needs now after the polarizing politics of Donald Trump, the paper continued. We don't remember the Globe telling Massachusetts polls like Ted Kennedy, Michael Dukakis, John Kerry and Mitt Romney not to run for president. Also this week, a top aide to Kamala Harris resigned after a report surfaced of a $400,000 harassment settlement resulting from his time working for Harris at the California Department of Justice in 2016, per. And then there was the criticism that Beto O'Rourke was getting from the progressive left. Welcome to the big leagues, guys and gals. Running for president is the best story in American politics. But the presidential vetting process is like nothing any of these folks have ever seen, even for these senators who've run before in high-profile Senate contests. The opposition research, the ideological criticism, the examination of every warrant and flaw, and the totality of this process is why sitting incumbent presidents who don't get primary challenges from their own parties have an advantage in seeking re-election. See Bush in 2004 and Obama in 2012. Just how lethal will this vetting process be for Democrats? In that New York Times piece on Warren, a Cherokee genealogist says she won't vote for Warren under any circumstance, even against Trump. Will hard feelings undermine the eventual nominee? The lack of full party unity definitely hurt the Democrats in 2016, or can someone transcend the presidential meat grinder? 3 new court documents are scheduled to emerge Friday that could shed new light on what Donald Trump's former top aides have been telling, or not telling, federal investigators. A federal judge in New York has ordered that prosecutors for the Southern District of New York and the Special Counsel's Office have until 5 p.m. Friday to deliver sentencing memos designed to detail former Trump lawyer Michael Cohen's cooperation in their ongoing investigations. And Special Counsel Robert Mueller is also due to file a document spelling out what his team previously referred to as the crimes and lies that led them to cancel a cooperation agreement with former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort. And it sure seems like President Trump is bracing for bad news. Just check out his, Robert Mueller and leak-in lion James Comey are best friends, just one of many Mueller conflicts of interest. And by the way, wasn't the woman in charge of prosecuting Jerome Corsi, who I do not know, in charge of legal at the corrupt Clinton Foundation? A total witch hunt. Will Robert Mueller's big-time conflicts of interest be listed at the top of his Republicans-only report? Will Andrew Weissmann's horrible and vicious prosecutorial past be listed in the report? He wrongly destroyed people's lives, took down great companies, only to be overturned 9-0 in the United States Supreme Court. Doing same thing to people now. Will all of the substantial and many contributions made by the 17 angry Democrats to the campaign of crooked Hillary be listed in top of report? Will the people that worked for the Clinton Foundation be listed at the top of the report? Will the scathing document written about lion James Comey, by the man in charge of the case, Rod Rosenstein, who also signed the FISA warrant, be a big part of the report? Isn't Rod therefore totally conflicted? Will all of the lying and leaking by the people doing the report, and also Bruce Ohr, and his lovely wife Molly, Comey, Brannon, Clapper, and all of the many fired people of the FBI, be listed in the report? Will the corruption within the DNC and Clinton campaign be exposed? And so much more. Somebody is clearly worried. Republican lawmakers may be violating the state constitution with fast-tracked bills in the lame-luck legislature that curb the powers of incoming Democratic officeholders or water-down proposals backed by Michigan voters, legal experts say. They're just going crazy, said Robert Sedler, a Wayne State University law professor. Sedler, who has taught at Wayne State since 1977 and wrote a book on American constitutional law, cited a range of problematic bills, from a package the Senate passed Thursday to strip enforcement of campaign finance laws from the Secretary of State to one that restricts the incoming governor's choices to head the Michigan State Police, and bills that meddle with legislation and constitutional amendments backed by Michigan voters. In the 40 years that I've been here, I have not seen any such effort to curtail the powers of the governor and the executive branch, Sedler told the Free Press Thursday. GOP Congressman David Valadao conceded to Democrat TJ Cox in the CA21 race, giving Democrats a net of 40 House pickups for their haul in 2018. As a result, NBC News declared Cox the apparent winner in the contest. NBC News also withdrew its call for Republican Mark Harris in that NC9 contest after Democrat Dan McCready took back his concession amid allegations of election fraud in the race. Here's, state investigators are combing through election board records in several counties to discover whether there was an organized effort to unlawfully collect the absentee ballots of thousands of voters and then not turn those ballots over to election authorities. They are especially interested in Bladen County, a rural, low-income area in the southeastern part of the state where investigators are looking at several individuals who turned in requests for absentee ballots on behalf of hundreds of voters. The results of the investigation could put in jeopardy Republican congressional candidate Mark Harris' unofficial lead of 905 votes over Democrat Dan McCready. Chuck Todd is moderator of an NBC News political director. Mark Murray is a senior political editor at NBC News. Carrie Dan is a political editor for NBC News.